Coming up, we'll visit some flood victims staying in travel trailers.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Today, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman and Kentucky Emergency Management Director Jeremy Slinker visited flood victims living in travel trailers. As of last month, more than 450 people were living in 168 trailers across eastern Kentucky. That number's likely gone up some. WYMT's Keaton Hall has more from Carr Creek Campground in Knott County.
Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman stopped by the mountains on Monday, meeting with displaced families living in travel trailers.
We're here to check on them and to listen to the concerns that they have or the challenges that they're still facing, and to let them know we'll continue to be with them throughout this process. And this is one of those things that you have to do, right? Is ask questions and listen and figure out how you can help solve problems.
Coleman says the trip to Carr Creek Campground brought her perspective that she'll carry back with her to Frankfort.
Those concerns I can take back to the governor, because he does make sure to continue to push at the federal level to make sure that we're getting what we need, and Kentucky families are getting what they need.
Kentucky Emergency Management Director Jeremy Slinker says they're still trying to get more folks in travel trailers.
We know the evenings are going to start getting colder, and it'll be a little tougher to stay in a tent or a car than maybe what it was at the beginning of this. So we keep trying to employ more of these trailers.
There are 25 families living at Carr Creek Campground, and no set timeline for how long they'll stay.
Some are rebuilding, some are looking for something new, some are renting, so they're looking for another rental. And, so it varies from family to family.
Knott County Judge Executive Jeff Dobson joined the tour. His fall trail ride just raised nearly $50,000 for housing in Knott County.
It's a sad, devastating time, but we want to be there for our people and build back stronger and better than ever. And we want to come out on the other side better than we went in, and better prepared for the future.
In Knott County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Lieutenant Governor Coleman says the local officials she has talked with say recovery is moving along better than they expected. It's been 2.5 months since the deadly flash flooding. Thanks to efforts from the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky, families and businesses are getting a major helping hand. We learned today more than $5 million have been granted for recovery now. Chad Hedrick has more on that.
As waters rushed into homes and businesses in late July, it was evident that countless lives and eastern Kentucky communities would be changed forever.
It quickly became obvious that we were losing lives, we were losing homes, we were losing cars, roads, bridges.
It has been boots on the ground and all hands on deck for the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky ever since, helping thousands of families who were left in shock and heartache from the devastation.
This is the first time I have experienced anything of this magnitude here at home, both on the side of the devastation and on the side of the response.
The foundation says they've given more than $5.3 million in grants to families, nonprofits, and small businesses since early August. That includes contributing $1.2 million towards the Housing Can't Wait initiative to help build 16 houses in Letcher, Knott, Perry, and Breathitt counties.
We do still have people living in tents, and that is awful. It's cold. It was 34 degrees when I got up this morning. That's cold, and we need to figure out right now, what are we going to do to help people?
Another $2.1 million has gone to individuals and families, making up more than 21,000 people. And the foundation says there are others they haven't even reached yet.
We need to remember that there will still be people who just need some cash assistance, people who just still are going to need food, people who are still going to need temporary shelter. And we still, as communities and as a state, have to talk about that as well. So while we have helped tens of thousands of people, there are still thousands out there that are going to continue to need our help.
Was Chad Hedrick reporting. The Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund by the state has dispersed $3.7 million. This includes nearly 6,700 $500 checks to those approved by FEMA. More than $9 million has been donated to that fund. The Hindman Settlement School is restarting classes and programs while still recovering from the flood. Floodwaters destroyed their office space, forcing staff to put documents in freezers until they could clean them. The school has now gotten to a point where they can resume lessons, but Executive Director Will Anderson says that would not be possible without the help of volunteers.
We have volunteers coming in, and it's just a very tedious process of just, defrosting them, trying to clean them up if they're, muddy.
Anderson says the school plans on hosting community events once a month in hopes of helping everyone recover. One Floyd County church is celebrating 50 years, keeping the doors open even after taking many hits in recent years. First Assembly of God in Martin just celebrated 5 decades of service after being hit by floodwaters last year and then again this past July after just refinishing the remodel. Members say water won't keep them down, and keeping the church alive is always worth the work to rebuild.
Somebody said once, posed the question, if the church doors closed, who would miss it? It's a sobering thought.
The church also has a youth and community center next door, serving as an outreach tool, showing how the church has grown through the years. Today, tickets for the Blue-White game went on sale for people affected by Eastern Kentucky flooding. The game is happening in Pikeville on October 22nd at Appalachian Wireless Arena. All flood victims have to do is enter their zip code to access the pre-sale through Ticketmaster and at the arena's box office. Tickets will go on sale to the general public on Wednesday.
Well, weather is as it has been for a while as we've headed into the evening hours. Quiet and a little chilly out there in some spots around the region right now. London's at 47 and dry. Hazard 46 and dry. Pikeville a little milder, 54, and you guessed it, dry. Maybe a few clouds out there, but that's about it. Temperatures depends on where you are. Some of us in the Cumberland Valley, especially the far southeast parts of the Cumberland Valley, into the low to middle 40s now. Still some mid 40s out there, but still a few 50s as well. 56 Jackson, 50 Prestonsburg, and 54 in Pikeville. Even Wise, a normally cool spot, sitting right at 50. You see satellite and radar in motion over the last 6 hours. Not a lot to talk about over the last 6 hours, so keep that WIMT First Alert weather app handy, because as you look over the next 6 hours, you'll see those temperatures drop quickly into the 40s and for some of us into the upper 30s, but we bounce back nicely into the mid 60s by daylight or by midday, and even nicer as we go through the day. Details though on when we could increase cloud cover and the shower and storm chances, that's in a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The Knox County area now has a new place where students can pick up a book to learn something new. Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College opened its new Knox County campus to students this morning. Classes range from being a nurse's aide, welding, plumbing, human services, and much more.
Actually gives us a opportunity that we've never had. It's been a process going on for about 5 years working on it, and it looks amazing now.
The campus has 110 students enrolled. Some are in person while others are online. With midterm elections underway, many county clerks' offices across the Commonwealth are staying busy. Those with the Breathitt County Clerk's Office say along with their own election prep, they have to ensure everyone who is eligible to vote is prepared as well. If you are unable to vote in person on November 8th, there are other options for you to consider.
The excuse in-person early voting, and it starts on October the 26th, 28th, 31st, and November the 2nd. And then we also have no excuse voting. Anybody can come in and vote, and that's on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th.
If you've not registered to vote, you must do so by 4 p.m. tomorrow. We have more early voting information on our website at WYMT.com. A Magoffin County newspaper is offering a reward for any evidence of vote buying. The Salyersville Independent posted the offer on its website. Anyone with recordings of someone buying a vote can get $3,000. The paper says you can submit evidence by email, mail, or in person. Your name will not be published. A massive fire in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee has turned deadly. Officials say at least one person died and another was hurt. The fire ripped through several businesses. The Gatlinburg Fire Department says it started at Pucker Sports Bar this weekend before spreading to some surrounding businesses. The person who died has not been identified yet. One firefighter was also taken to the hospital with minor injuries, but has since been released. Fire investigators have not released a cause. A Southern Kentucky exit will be closed tomorrow. The Transportation Cabinet says the exit 15 on-ramp in Whitley County will be closed for maintenance from 8 in the morning until noon. You should expect delays and use caution in that area. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, we'll take a look at how farmers in our area are encouraging folks to celebrate the fall season.
Plus, more sunshine on the way tomorrow before some changes move into the forecast. The latest timeline for later this week coming up after this.
We've all experienced the peace of mind feeling when you finally find an honest company that will give you top quality products at a great price and then